All right, we got a new 2023 found footage film. We seriously need to start doing like a found footage Friday.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
That
a
would
good
be
idea.
fun. But for now, let's talk about Something Walks in the Woods. Now, I was contacted by the writer, director, star, William J. Howard III. He was like, want to check out my film? And I was like, absolutely. So we threw it on. It took me a little while to get to this one. I told him I was going to watch it like a couple weeks ago. But hey, we got to it.
We did.
We watched it a few days ago now, at least.
Yeah.
Right? We downloaded some app for it. For Reveal, I think is what it was called. Reveel. And on there, it's free with no ads. But it is on Tubi, of course. It was just put on Tubi pretty recently. And this is about a viral video shows a mysterious figure walking along the edge of the woods each day. And the filmmaker, Bill Howard, sets out to spend a night there to find out exactly what it is. Now, this plays out somewhat like the Blackwell Ghost. That's probably the thing I would liken it to the most. So I think if you're a Blackwell Ghost fan and you like Blair Witch style footage where someone camping in the woods like that, but kind of mixed with one-on-one, you're really just kind of sitting with the filmmaker the whole time, and he's narrating it to a degree. Then this probably would be up your alley. For me, myself, overall, I did find myself to be kind of bored with the movie just because, yes, I know it's found footage, so I think a lot of people think this is found footage in general, but I don't. I just felt like there's way too much talking and not enough showing. And I never really felt an atmosphere or a tension or a scary feel to the movie. But I think Kaylee will have something to say that I agree with for sure.
Yeah. I agree with you about like showing more. That's definitely something I think that was missing. But I thought that his acting was like really wonderful. It was supernatural, super realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, like, definitely one of the better, especially, like, we've talked about this so many times in found footage, how, like, you'll have actors that are just not acting natural, and it takes you out of it, and I was really into his performance, and I think that that's a huge, accomplishment and something to be proud of, because I do think it's really hard to act natural, and I just think that this was done really well. And I also wanted to say that I actually really like the video that's used in this, like the paranormal video, the viral video, as you said. I actually thought that looked really cool.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. And then I also enjoyed the ending too. Like, I liked the interviews with the different like townspeople and like all that stuff. Like, I just think that I would have liked more of like interviewing the town people and stuff more in the film and not at the very end, because I guess my biggest criticism is just that there's a good portion of the film that I feel like not enough is happening.
Sure.
And it is very subtle. So I do think there's people that are going to be really into it, because I do think it is also like a hyper realistic, like found footage film. So that's definitely, if that's the goal and intention, I think that was accomplished. Yeah. It's just that for me, I do like there to be more activity going on. And that's all. But like, yeah.
There's just scenes where they're going for the realism, right?
Yeah.
And it's like him like doing something in real time for way too long, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I know it's supposed to add to that realism, but I was just sitting there like, okay, you could cut this down to an hour for sure. But
you could, but I also feel like this is the kind of film that, like, if you came across it online, like, you could buy that it was a real thing.
the movie that's had the most of that in our comments by far and away, almost every single comment we get is the horror in the high desert.
Yeah.
Almost every single comment I get is like, is this real or fake? Or I thought this was real all the way to the end, or whatever.
Sure.
So it's,
I think
funny.
that this one kind of it has the same vibe to me, you know, which I do think that's a certain sect of found footage, like fans, and like just that this subgenre has that, where there's like this hyper realistic, you know, movie, like hyper realistic vein of movies. And it really works for some people. And, you know, I'm not saying it doesn't work for me. It's just that this one was a slower one. And I think that with the talent and the acting, and I thought that the story was fairly interesting. Like, I liked, you know, like the setup with the viral video and everything. I just think, as you said in the beginning, I think showing more would have been just cooler to have added to.
Or, and probably one of my issues with the Blackwell Ghost and why I'm not a huge fan of that franchise and why I liken this to it that much is because we're spending all our time with one guy. And what he's saying, while is being delivered authentically, I don't find all that interesting, right? Like you need to build the lore, but you also need to entertain in some way or another and be like charismatic character. And I think balancing yourself, it's very, very difficult to carry a film by yourself. A movie that has like one character for 99% of its runtime is rarely successful. They exist for sure, and I can name a few, but for the most part, I feel like if the Blackwell Ghost guy and Bill William Bill is how he wrote me. If he would have had someone else with him, to maybe his wife or a friend or something, and there was like a little bit more back and forth and shit talking and, you know, interaction with somebody else, that would have kept me more interested and more engaged. It's just that when you're talking to yourself and you can only really like kind of say the lore, but then you're like working, like messing around with a camera, or you're looking at something in real time for like 5 straight minutes, it's like, you know, that's padding. And you know that that's there because the character doesn't have anything else to do to entertain you or engage you as an audience member, being like, I'm going to give you more interest or more scares in the background or more whatever. Like, there's nothing there. So it's like you need more interaction back and forth. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. But overall, good acting. Really good. I think that, you know, he's got something here. If he can find another couple actors to work with that are as good as him, and maybe do a second one with this same like, I know it's you, right? So you, it's not a character, it's supposed to be you, but like if you did a second one where you went back with a couple other people, right, and you showed a little bit more, had a little bit more of a payoff, I think this would be really successful. I do too. So good first effort on this, and you got something for sure. Definitely. Just keep at it, and congrats on making a film at all. So and he has another film coming out here he's working on right now that's like a big project for him, The Great Dismal, which he does mention, I think, in this film as well. So look forward to that, and check it out on Tubi, and let you know, support this little low budget horror stuff, man. You know we're always doing that. So thanks to Bill for sending this over to us, and there you go. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.